They've headed further north and are ready to sink their teeth in. It is a hard and fast deck. Walked it a little earlier today with some of the Aussie guys who are all so keen to get back into the world of sevens. It's been limited, their interactions. We've got to go all the way back to March last year, where Vancouver was the last stop that the World Series had. The men doing their thing, and COVID ruined it from there on. So it is wonderful to have these high-class sides back in the middle.
It is Australia taking on Fiji in the first clash, and the Aussie side is preparing for the Olympics in just a few weeks' time in Tokyo, and they're coming up against the reigning gold medalists, the Flying Fijians, looking great in their new jerseys.
Yeah, picked up the Nike sponsorship, and that is some slick kit that Fiji will run out with today. We should say enough to those of you watching on over in the islands. Kia ora to those of you dialed in via Sky Sports in New Zealand as well. 3 days of action. I know that the Aussies and Kiwis went at it a couple of weeks back, had a hit out over in New Zealand, but to have them here in the sunshine in far north Queensland ahead of Tokyo, it doesn't get much better.
We're just getting set for the run-outs in the Oceania Sevens. Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, and an Oceania Sevens team, which is basically an all-star team, Shawnee.
Yep, they'll do their thing on the other side of this initial matchup. Fiji v Australia. And that's how Fiji look.
Yeah, Vakaruna Mbili, Sandrungu, Nasoko, Masi, Talatholo, Darren Alangi, and Tuvuaka will start for the Fijians today. Jerry Tuai on the bench, the ever-experienced player, and then this is the Aussie side, Shawnee.
Yep, how good to see Palmer Foe back in the Aussie colours as well. Has been somewhat of a journeyman, was such a star on the World Series before heading off to 15s, and now makes his return to 7s. So looking forward to seeing how the Aussie number 2 goes this afternoon. And of course, Samu Karevi as well. He's hoping we get to see Samu do his thing in Townsville on debut in the Aussie Sevens colours.
Yeah, he is named as one of the subs today. So we're almost set for kickoff. Damon Murphy is the man in the middle with the whistle to kick off proceedings. And Yosefo Masi on this sideline. It'll be Talinga who'll get us started. Just waiting for the all clear.
No problems on the M40 South.
3 days of high-octane sevens action gets us started here in Townsville, and immediately the ball hits the grass, and charging onto it is Henry Hutchison and wins the kickoff. So an early chance for the Aussies to attack out of their own half. Lockie Anderson caught. Here's Holland sending the ball across to Coward for long flat ball out to the wing, and cutting back in field go the Aussies. Miller looking for the offload up to halfway, and there's the first penalty, and Fiji go quickly. This is what they do really beautifully. Ikanakonda holding it up for Marcy. Marcy through. Marcy streaks away, gets the offload away. First try, no. And the Aussies do well to turn it over, and now Coward sprints off, looking for support. Sends it back into the midfield. Maloof. Wide to Lockie Miller with fancy footwork from Miller. Again, Fiji driving over though. Aussies really having to work hard to win that ball at the breakdown. Maloof. Coward. And they're offside, so Coward goes quickly. All the Aussie numbers in this near side of the field is Miller. Hutchison breaks the first tackle. Again, they get to halfway. Aussies had the bulk of possession so far. Another penalty. Piggybacking up the field now, the Aussies. Coward hands it off to Maloof. They shift it back to the short side. Turner. Hutchison spinning. Miller. Here goes Maloof again. Back inside. Here we go for the Aussies. Through the gap. Anderson with the first try for Australia.
Well, Anderson will bang in the first for the weekend in Townsville. I'm still trying to work out how Fiji didn't score out the other end of the park. They were essentially across the try line before that wild pass. Found Coward instead of a Fijian jersey. Then the piggyback penalties up the field. 1, 2, 3. Set up that late switch for Anderson to burst his way through for the opening try. Good signs early for Tim Walsh's men.
Flags are up. Coward adds the extras, so it's 7 points to 0. Australia leading the Flying Fijians. 3 minutes gone. It's breathless stuff, isn't it? And there it is. Anderson running in that first try. Been playing Super Rugby down for the Melbourne Rebels, Sean.
Yep, and has just re-entered the fray with no issues early on back in the 7 side of things.
There's the restart. Well taken by the Fijians. Mangala. But the Aussies turn it over. Good work at the breakdown. Here's Coward. Coward. Long ball out to Anderson, the try scorer, looking for number 2. Has to flick it back in field. The Aussies do well to keep that ball alive. Holland. Cross kick. Hutchison goes up for it. It's play on. Hutchison got back to his feet. Aussies on the 22. Play on for the Fijians. And they're streaking away here. Oh, just wrong footing. Wonderful footwork. Pop it up again, though. Fiji can't quite finish off.
Really tough under pressure. Yellow card.
Yellow card. The Aussies will be playing a man down. Here goes Akanaconda. And there is the first try for Fiji. Brilliant work. Sorelli Mangala finishing off after a beautiful offload.
I thought it could have quite easily been a penalty try straight 7 after Louis Holland did make that early tackle. He's gone for 2 and no issues with the execution second time round in that red zone for Fiji. And Mangala has their first.
So 7 points apiece. What about the beautiful offload from Tambu?
Celebrated his birthday this week. Did Kavagini Tambu.
And, oh, brilliant work off the kickoff from Fiji. Here's number 2. It's Mangala again. And that is slick work from the Olympic gold medalists.
It's Yosefa Talafolo, the man who has set up that lead for Fiji. Brilliant from the restart. It's what they do so well and that they've done so well across the World Series. Normally it's Darren Alungi getting through and putting pressure on, but this time round, Talafolo got that huge wingspan up. There it is, brings it in, powers away, and then he found Mangala on the spot for a pair, Swaney.
Mangala with an early double, 14 points to 7. Aussies need to clean it up at kickoff. Here's the man, Samu Karevi on the field, getting that big fend working that you see so often in the 15s game. Shifting the ball across field. Once again, the Fijians find themselves offside. Kicked ahead. Here goes Coward. He's taken off the headgear, Josh Coward. It must be hot out there. Here's Karevi looking for the offload. Back to Coward. Karevi gets up and goes again. Big Samu. Brought down in contact. Here's Maloof. Being told to run it back the short side. Coward to Karevi. Karevi caught, isolated, needed some help. Hutchison. Aussie stacking the far side of the field. Very narrow at the moment. It's come off of Fiji and they've been towed ahead. Could this be try number 3? It's beautifully controlled, picked up and scored. We're going to have a look at it though. Was the finish dropped?
Confirming try, yes or no?
7 minutes in and on empty. Talinga soccering ahead so well. It checked for him. It sat up. What about the finish? Did he get it, Swaney?
It looked good with the naked eye. He did it so beautifully. Oh. Hard to say.
No tries, the call. Ah, that's terrific from Maloof. The Moose with a desperate try saver right on the break. They'll be back to the full complement in just... He hits it. Yeah? You happy with that? No, Misha said he's got it. Okay, he's got it.
All right, big 7 minutes, all right? Let's fucking rip and tear.
Just sits inside the touchline, so it'll be a Fijian throw.
White, marks here, yellow marks here. Marks here. Bring it up, White. White up.
Kanikonda goes long and it's well executed by Fiji. Just juggled in the midfield but then straight through and streaking away is Mangala for a hat-trick here, Lily. Oh, the switch pass can't hit its mark. And here's Karevi, the Aussies dodge another bullet. And now Samu looking for support. Tap and go. Aussies quick off the mark. Maloof, the captain. They send it wide to Coward and Hutchison. Doesn't back his pace on the outside. Cuts back in field. Anderson to Holland. Here's Karevi. Karevi looking to use his size. That's why he's been brought into this 7 side. Back-to-back penalties. Holland goes quickly. Bounce pass out to Maloof. Hutchison. Hutchison. Back to the skipper, Maloof. The Aussies score. Kick to tie it all up.
Well, the captain saved them 7 right on half-time and now has pulled it back to a 2-point game. He's the everywhere man for the Aussies. They're cooked already. Despite all the lead-up work, all the training, it is sapping in the middle in Townsville. Coward into add the additional 2. Some good involvements from Karevi in the lead-up to that as well. Figured prominently as the Aussies march it up the field. But again, Fiji just lacking that killer shot. Thought he was in again for certain. Mangala. They coughed it up and the Aussies cash in.
Here's another look at it. Hutchison with plenty of touches. Again, he cut his way back in field. Found Maloof. Try for the Aussies. 14 all here in Townsville. In this first game of the Oceania Sevens. Coward high and pinpoint kickoff. It's beautifully done by the Aussies. They're looking sharp early. Amafo on the field. Coward. Maloof. Back to Palmafo, who gets shirt fronted. Bounce pass to Pincus. Holland. Long ball to Foe, who cops a big shot without the ball. It's play on. Aussies tow it ahead. sprinting through. Dylan Peach. Fijians can't quite get the handles on it. Anaconda now opens up for him. He's looking for the support player. It's there. Darren Alungi. Oh, smashed in the tackle one. Vugu. Using the width of the field now and straightening. Pass can't quite hit the mark again though. And there's a big shot. Lewis Holland doing some big D, and it sits up for Australia, no. Being played in the middle of the field here at the moment. It's frenetic stuff. Ball popped off the ground, and now is another try, and it's that man, Nandungu, who will score. Waisea Nandungu.
Yeah, Weiss, Nandungu, extremely experienced. Not only seen him coming on for Jerry on the World Series. No 2-0 in his first up game for Gareth Baber, so it is Weiss doing what Weiss does so well, finishing for Fiji and delivering big involvements in the second term. Conversion good as well.
21-14, Fiji lead the Aussies. Really energy-sapping stuff. Streaking away. And shallow restart. Won by the Aussies. And won well. Once again, it's Maloof looking to wrong foot his opposition. Peach out in the wide channels. Aussie sending it across field. Foe just taps it on for Turner. Back to Hamafoe. Hamafoe stopped in his tracks. Anstey on the field. For the Aussies, been playing for the Western Force in Super Rugby. Anstey gets back to his feet. Aussies putting themselves under pressure and they give away the penalty. So Lockie Miller just has to leave it where it is. And we're ticking down in the last minute. Anaconda told to hurry it up. Told to tap it. The Fijians. One last shot. Aussies turn it over though. Peach cutting back infield, looking for the support. One last shot for the Aussies here. Miller. Using those feet beautifully. Lockie Miller. There for Foe. Again, bounce pass for Turner. Peach sends it across field. And it's gone forward. And the siren sounds.
Damon Murphy just called the scrum. Ahead of that siren going off, rushed into that loose, long pass. Tim Anstey desperate to free up Peach down that left-hand side, but it did travel forward. Gee, we've waited a long time to see these two sides back on the park, up against one another. It's been 16 months waiting, that first 14 minutes of our 3-day week.
Brilliant sevens from both sides. And the Aussies will likely go down here. 21 points to 14 at the moment. All the Fijians have to do is get it into touch. Penalty. Fijians will keep playing here. That's what they do. One in Golo on the outside, and that's the finishing touch. Juta Wainingolo with the sealer for the Fijians.
Well, this is ominous for the remainder of the weekend. Gareth Haber's men have delivered first up, and it's not the most experienced outfit that they've carried into this opening game either. He's given a number of his rookies a chance to impress, and impressed they have. It'll be likely a 12-point win in the end for Fiji. Strong start.
26 points to 14 will be the final score here in the first game of the Oceania Sevens. It is the Flying Fijians, the reigning Olympic gold medalists, getting off to the perfect start. Final score, Fiji 26. There's some stars across the park and some up-and-coming stars in this Oceania side as well. So, New Zealand huddling up. Silver medalists in Rio. They are really determined to go one better in Tokyo. We'll get to see what they can roll out this afternoon. Some up-and-coming stars, as I said, in this Oceania side. And it'll be New Zealand getting us started. Reece Porilane with the kickoff, and straight away dramas. Stacey Fleur flying through with a swinging arm, and Tian Levy.
You've got it in the air.
That is a yellow card. It doesn't look good, does it, Jem?